grow up dreaming of being doctors and lawyers, CEOs and senators, and yes, maybe even the President of the United States. Members of the AME Church, I want to talk about what we can learn from our history about the power of being an active, engaged citizen in our democracy. Now, back when Frederick Douglass was still working on a plantation, back when Rosa Parks was still riding that segregated bus, the injustices we faced were written in big, bold letters on the face of our laws. And while we may have had our differences over strategy, the battles we needed to fight were very clear. We knew that to end slavery, we needed a proclamation from our president, an amendment to our whether our sons and our daughters who wear our country's uniform get the support and benefits they've earned or not. You see, those decisions are made by the folks sitting in Congress and in our White House. They're made by the folks in our state legislatures and city halls. And we all know who's supposed to select those folks, don't we? We know who's supposed to tell those folks what to do, right? Our pools and gave thousands of rides to perfect strangers. I'm talking about the volunteers who set up drinking fountains at first aid stations on the Washington Mall and made 80,000 bags of groceries to folks who marched on that August day. I'm talking about the tireless, the thankless, the relentless work of running chains. Democracy. What happens during those quiet moments between the marches? It's kind of like church. Our faith journey isn't just about showing up on Sunday for a good sermon and good music and a good meal. It's about what we do Monday through Saturday as well. Especially in those quiet moments when the spotlight's not on us and we're making those daily choices about how to live our lives. We see that in the life of Jesus Christ. You know, Jesus didn't limit his ministry to the four walls of the church. We know that. He was out there fighting injustice and speaking truth to power every single day. He was out there spreading a message of grace and redemption to the least, the last, and the lost. And our charge is to find him everywhere. Form a blacksmith shop into a church that changed history. Then surely we can get our community more engaged in our democracy. If so many people could sacrifice so much for so long to leave this magnificent legacy for us, then surely we can find a way to carry it forward for our children and our grandchildren. And when you grow weary in this work, and you will, when you think about giving up, and you will, I want you to think about a photo that hangs today in the West Wing of the White House. It is a picture of a young black family visiting the president in the Oval Office. The father was a member of the White House staff, and he brought his wife and two young sons to meet my husband. In the photo, Barack is bent over at the waist, way over. And one of the sons, a little boy, just 5 years old, is reaching out his tiny hand to touch my husband's head. And it turns out that upon meeting Barack, this little boy gazed up at him longingly and said, "I my hair is like yours. And my husband replied, well, why don't you touch it and see for yourself? So he bent way over so the little boy could feel his hair. And after touching my husband's head, the boy exclaimed, he said, yeah, it does feel the same. Every couple of weeks, the White House photographers change out all the photos that hang in the West Wing, except for that one. See, that one, and that one alone has hung on that wall for more than 3 years. So, if you ever wonder whether change is possible in this country, I want you to think about that little black boy in the Oval Office of the White House, touching the head of the first black president. Children who see that photo today think nothing of it, because that is all they've ever known. Because they have grown up taking for granted that an African American can be president of the United States.
Hey, you gotta snap this picture. All you gotta do is hit this. Then you snap it from Brown.
La República Dominicana, la República Dominicana.
Great job, a little bit.